going on, family? Sip checking in, and welcome back to another Sip's video. What a perfect time to come back to YouTube, because the Raptors recently drafted a player that is going to be joining the squad for the upcoming season and the future seasons to come. And right now that player is Colin Murray-Boyles, aka CMB. And you may be wondering, what is my thoughts on CMB? And quite honestly with you all, I think he's a super underrated player that is going to definitely help the Toronto Raptors, especially in the later stages of the season when they're trying to make a playoff push. Simply because when you leave aside all of his flashiness and everything that he did during the draft night to gain attraction and everything that comes with that, and just look at his basketball game, there's certain skills that he has that is quietly being swept under the rug by most NBA teams, and it's something that I believe that the Toronto Raptors will definitely utilize. So you may be wondering, what are those skills that I'm referring to? Well, you'll need to watch until the end of this video where we're going to be breaking down Colin's game, and I'll be telling you how I see Colin being implemented into the Raptors system for the upcoming season. Now right off the bat, when we look at Colin Murray-Boyles' game, there are three main areas that really stand out to me. Number one is his defensive ability, two is blocking ability, and three is his post-move game. And while people might say he's very similar to Scottie Barnes, which is kind of true, especially given the fact that Scottie Barnes has been developing those sides of his game as well as his three-point shooting ever since he got drafted by the Toronto Raptors back in 2021. I would say for Colin, a better comparison for him as of right now would be a young OG and a young Julius Randle hybrid, because when you look at both a young OG and a young Julius Randle, especially when they came into the NBA, the main bread and butter was the defensive abilities that they had and the speed, which helped them not only cause a lot of headaches for their opponents, but also through their speed they were able to really change the course of a game and made it so that the starters of their teams could really take advantage of all the miscommunication that is going on. And I believe that Colin will provide that same type of energy for the Toronto Raptors coming off the bench this year, especially given the fact that as of right now for the Toronto Raptors, their starting five is Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, Scottie Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl. That is a really deadly starting five right there that could really make some noise on any given night. So to have Colin be that guy off the bench who can really come in and disturb any type of momentum that the opponent is giving is definitely a huge positive that I believe that the Toronto Raptors will probably take advantage of, especially during the playoff push. And if he's able to develop a mid-range shot and get even better with reading passes or even getting his strength up as the season goes on, that's an even bigger bonus, which I believe, based on the success rate that the Toronto Raptors had with Grady Dick and the development with him, I think that's definitely going to be a possibility, which I'm excited to see as the season continues. Now speaking of coming off the bench, this leads me to the other topic that I wanted to have about Colin Murray-Boyles in this video, and that is, how will the Toronto Raptors rotation change with Colin Murray-Boyles in the lineup? And to be honest with you all, I feel like having Colin Murray-Boyles come off the bench might be the most effective way for him to grow with the organization for two major reasons. Number one, having Colin come off the bench will help him improve his awareness on the court, because he'll be able to look at opponents' defenses from a different angle and exploit any weaknesses that the opponents have, especially in a fast-break situation, much easier, because he'll understand what type of game style the opponents are going to be coming in on a night-to-night basis, and through the work that he's going to do, whether that be with assistant coaches or through film, he'll be able to better counter it and be physically and mentally prepared for all of the adversity that comes with trying to stop any player at any moment of the game. But also number two, Colin coming off the bench will definitely give him more time to improve his own game on the offensive end, being the mid-range and three-point game as well, because in today's NBA, the mid-range and three-point game is super important, not only to help space the floor, but also it could be the X factor that many of the starting five of any team is going to look for to really help change the tide of the game. And for the Toronto Raptors, especially given the fact that their starting five for the upcoming season is Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl as of now, that starting five group is a lot to handle at one specific time. And to have Colin come off the bench with a really good mid-range and three-point shot and disturb the momentum of the opponent's defense through his plays really gives not only the starting five more opportunities to get their own buckets, but also deflates the pressure that the starting five will have to play extended minutes due to the rookies or anybody off the bench mistakes that they make throughout the game. So I believe that if Colin is serious about improving his game with the Toronto Raptors and doing the dirty work like he claimed in his draft interviews and even after he got drafted by the Toronto Raptors, this would be the most optimal way for him to grow his game, and hopefully he'll be able to produce results and really help the Toronto Raptors go to heights that we are expecting him to go to, especially when it's time to push for that playoff position and in the playoffs in future seasons to come. So yeah, that wraps up my thoughts on Colin Murray-Boyle joining the Toronto Raptors, and I'd love to know what you all thought about him joining the Toronto Raptors as well. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And also, how do you feel about him being the 9th pick and his way of introducing himself to the Toronto Raptors fandom? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to have all of those conversations down there. But as always, if you like this video, make sure to give me one of these. Smash that subscribe button and hit that bell, and I'll catch you all in the next video where we'll talk more Toronto Raptors, more basketball, or more sports in general. So until then, Civ signing out.